I would like to I would now like to further invite Miss Professor Deepthi Gulati ma'am, and she's the team lead for the topic to ensure adequate and appropriate diets for children and adolescents, both in health and sickness. She serves as an senior advisory member for TechnoServe India. I hand over the next 5 minutes to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can you see my slides?
Yes, Dipti ma'am, we
Can you
could
see my
see your
slide? Can you
slides.
hear me?
Yes, we could hear you, Dipti ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay. Now, we have to talk on guideline number 5, and I have most of the things that I wanted to say have already been said, and I'm so happy because all our previous speakers have done so well that leaves very little for me, but I'll anyway go ahead. So our general observations are that the amounts of cereals and pulses recommended for consumption are quite high, both from the ease of consumption, comfort of consumption, as also on the pocket. The amount of fruits and vegetables that are recommended for consumption are very high. Their accessibility and affordability would be difficult. So it is very good to formulate the ideal plate, but ideal plate is not always the practical plate. So we have to look at what people can consume. Otherwise, it would only lead to a lot of disenchantment to say, oh, I'm not able to afford, I'm not able to give good food to my children as is recommended. So we have to take a very balanced view. Green leafy vegetables are seasonal. The iron present in green leafy vegetables is not always absorbed totally in our body. Plant foods release various kinds of nutrients which interfere with the absorption of iron. Adding citrus fruit does provide vitamin C, which chelates the iron and facilitates absorption. But we cannot even take too high vitamin C because it would not be absorbed. And then if we say that get vitamin C from fruits, it is not always cost-effective approach. Most foods mentioned in the guidelines are rich in calcium. It is good for bones and for growth, and they're used in daily cellular activities. But the body requires vitamin D for the absorption of calcium. And so we have to look for provision of sources of vitamin D. One of the recommendations is exposure to sunlight. For the formation of vitamin D in the body, the guidelines recommend 30 minutes of exposure to sunlight between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Believe me, friends, you all know it is not difficult. I've written difficult. It is not difficult. It is impossible to follow. Most of the country has high temperatures for almost 6 to 7 months in a year, if not more. Is it possible for children and all of us to be sunning ourselves for 30 minutes, exposing our body to sun directly? It is very challenging. Furthermore, adopting of this recommendation can lead to dehydration. This is what had come across when we had that noon assembly concept floated by our very dear Mr. Pavan Agarwal when he was the CEO of FSSAI. We had a very gala event, and after that we recommended all schools to shift their morning assembly time to 11 or 12. And the kind of feedback that we got was that children were fainting, or children were getting very exhausted. They were sweating extensively. So we need to take care of what we say and what we recommend, because recommendations is one thing. You may recommend something. If we are not able to follow those recommendations, then they have no meaning. Also, we have very high UV and infrared penetration, and exposing children to this high temperature is risk for skin cancers and other induced skin disorders, and also high release of melatonin. So our group's key recommendations are that we relook at the quantity suggested for cereals, pulses, fruits, and vegetables. so as to make them easy for adoption and compliance. Recommendations are meant to be adopted and meant to be complied with. So we have to recommend things which are, I'm not saying absolutely easy, but not impossible to adopt or comply with. Staple food fortification is a very cost-effective complementary strategy to reduce and overcome micronutrient malnutrition across all population and groups and socioeconomic classes. So FSSAI, Government of India, has already gazetted the standards of fortification of staple foods, which are rice, wheat flour, edible oil, milk, and salt. These 5 staples are something that people always eat, irrespective of their consumption of vegetables or fruits in whatever amount. So if we are able to fortify these staples like rice and wheat with iron, folic acid, B12, edible oil and milk with vitamin A and D, and salt with iodine and iron, I think we would be able to bridge the gap between the body needs and the requirements, and even bring down the amounts recommended for fruits and vegetables as in the plate for adolescents. Secondly, the amount of pulses that have been recommended, it is impossible to consume. I'm not just a nutritionist, I'm also a housewife, and I also feed my children. I would want to feed pulses, but the amount they are recommend for one person is good for the family. NIN should therefore strongly recommend mandatory fortification of staple foods as per the FSSAI standards, so that the gap between the micronutrient intake and requirements is bridged. Fortification of staple foods is a population-wide, cost-effective strategy to address micronutrient malnutrition, and hence it can be and it needs to be adopted nationwide. And with that, I conclude. Eat safe, eat right, eat fortified. The recommendations are very good, but these need to be tweaked to make them easy to adopt and comply with. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That indeed was a very concise and crisp session. And I believe to have you here with us today brings an honor in itself, because, as you speak, you bring more than 45 years of experience. I request the participants to introduce themselves. Yes, ma'am. As I was continuing, as you speak, you bring more than 45 years of experience with you, ma'am. And I think I speak for all. We believe that that is the most important and amazing part of having a successful session. Thank you very much, ma'am.